Hello and welcome to the Daily for Friday the 29th of September 2023. In today's Millwall news, we're going to start off with an exclusive interview with Bart Biakowski. My wife helped me come to terms with losing number one spot at Millwall. This is from the londonnewsonline.co.uk, the South London Press's online website. Bart Biakowski has revealed how a chat with his wife Inez helped him finally come to terms with the fact he is no longer regarded as Millwall's number one. The 36-year-old goalkeeper is back between the posts for the Lions, but only landed a recall after a quad injury sidelined summer signing Matthias Sarkic. Biakowski won back-to-back Player of the Year trophies in his first two campaigns at Millwall, as well as pipping David Raya to the 2019-20 Championship Golden Glove Award, but he lost his spot to George Long in September 2022 and then saw Sarkic arrive from Wolves for a seven-figure sum in the summer transfer window. Biakowski could have been a free agent last summer, but signed a new contract at the end of January. So did he consider leaving to secure first-team football? I'm going to be honest with you, the first couple of months were tough for me mentally. Biakowski told the South London Press. I couldn't really accept the second choice role. It wasn't easy when I got dropped after so many consecutive games. I was 35 at the time. One evening, my wife and I talked about things, our future, and about the situation I'm in. And we kind of came to an agreement. She said to me, "You've done so well in football. You are 35. There are so many players out of contract without a club or dropping down divisions. Just appreciate every single day because you just don't know how many more years you're going to carry on. And just enjoy the moment, being in around a fantastic club with great people." After that conversation, it was much easier for me. I'm not saying I accepted the role being second choice, but I accepted the situation and the willingness of the club to give me another contract. I've still done everything pretty much the same as when I was playing in terms of preparing right for the games over the summer. I've signed another keeper in Marty, so I kind of knew I'm probably going to be second choice again, but that's okay. Like I said, things happen in football. You've just got to be patient, to work hard, and you wait for the chance. Unfortunately for Matty, he got injured pretty early on, and I'm back in. Biakowski learned a lesson about staying in top condition as a youngster from Southampton's books. I was first choice at 18 years old, playing in the Championship, and I did my cruise ship, he recalled. Southampton signed Kelvin Davis, who went on to become an absolute legend for them, played so well. I thought no matter how well I trained, I was not going to play. A couple of days before a game, he got injured, and I stepped in. I was shocking. I had a nightmare. It was down to my lifestyle. It wasn't the best. I was eating crap food, not caring about my recovery and other stuff. Since then, I have lost probably 18 or 20 kilos. It was a big turning point for me. From that point, I said, in or out of the team, you have to do it for yourself and be ready. This is my approach. I'm trying to do everything right on the training pitch because injuries, illnesses, and drops in form, they happen. Yes, indeed. This has been said before. I think I've said it on this channel as well. Be ready. Don't get ready when the time comes. Be ready for when the time comes. Biakowski did start for Millwall in a 3-0 win over Rotherham on New Year's Day, but had lost his place after a 2-0 reverse to QPR at the Den just less than 4 months earlier. Asked if he understood the reason behind being dropped, Biakowski responded, "No, I didn't accept to not play. I remember the gaffer pulled me before Blackpool came, and he told me his reason. I said, yeah, that's okay, that's your decision. Me and that gaffer get on so well, he's a top guy. He said to me, just come and see me in the midweek after the game. We had more time to talk about things. We didn't have a great start to last season, and after that, we started to win games and were performing well as a team. So it was hard to watch it from the sidelines. As a professional footballer, you want to play. All the hard work you put in on the training pitch, you want to show it on match day. But it's not all about me, it's about the team. I said to the gaffer, the team come above myself. I'm a team player. I want the team to do well. I was still cheering the boys on and doing all the right stuff. Biakowski reached a milestone of 100 championship clean sheets after he shut out West Brom, with Rotherham also flanking in last week's fixture in SE16. I didn't know that, but that's nice, said Biakowski. After the Rotherham game, I mentioned to the boys that I'd forgotten how nice a feeling it is to keep a clean sheet. To have 100 in the championship is not bad. The first half of West Brom, we were dominant. They didn't trouble us at all, but then again, they are at home and have good quality players, we kind of knew that they'll come at us and try to put pressure on our defence with the crosses, shots, and chances. The second half was tougher, but we defended so well. So credit to the boys. In the end, it was a good point. But mixed feelings as well with the mixed penalty. That happens. 0-0 away from home. Sometimes you have to take the positives out of the game and you move on. On the horizon, November 29th to be exact, Bielkowski is set to head back to Ipswich Town. He had 5 seasons with the Tractor Boys, making 178 appearances, only leaving once they had been relegated to League One. Now they are only behind Championship leaders Leicester City on goal difference, and knocked Wolves, Premiership Wolves, out of the AFL Cup in the week. I said when they got promoted they were going to be the dark horses, said Bielkowski. I've watched them play last season. It's probably easier for them to play in the Championship than it was in League One, to be honest. Credit to them and their manager that they're playing really good football and scoring goals. And I'm really looking forward to that game. I played a few friendlies against them before, but never a proper match. It's a long season. It will be interesting to see if they can keep it up. Millwall are 11th and only 2 points behind Sunderland, 8th and 6th. We have started better than last season and we were so close then to reaching the playoffs, said Bielkowski. We're in a good position to attack it, I believe, in this team, and I believe we can do it. Well, that's good, isn't it? It's certainly nice to have a dream, something to believe in. So there you go. Long form interview with Bielkowski now. Moving on to words from the manager. Millwall boss hoping for Kevin Nisbet's return. His former Hibernian striker availability would ease attacking headache. Millwall manager Gary Rowett is hoping that Kevin Nisbet will be fit for tomorrow's home game against Swansea and take away a striker headache. Tom Bradshaw is not expected to be available until around the international break after injuring his hamstring in last weekend's 0-0 draw at West Brom. Nisbet missed a trip to the Hawthorns. He was forced off after damaging his ankle in a 3-0 victory over Rotherham, but the Scottish international was not ruled out of being back in the matchday squad this weekend. The Lions are also depleted at centre-back. Murray Wallace injured his groin at the weekend and is set to be at least a fortnight away from a return. Captain Sean Hutchinson, calf, has been out since the start of September. The forward areas are slightly more of a concern, Rowett told the South London. Brothers and Nisbet are out number 9s, and if both of them are out, it means we haven't really got a number 9. Adalbo can play as a striker, but he's more of a wider striker. Longman has played as a striker before in the 2, and somewhere he can play. Duncan, he can also play there, but if you describe them all as not out-and-out strikers, really. It's obviously going to cause us a little bit of an issue. The main concern is the lack of impact on the bench. Because as soon as you start using those players in the starting line, it means you haven't got an impact at all to throw on in an attacking sense. I spoke about it before that our squad is quite light. To maximise the budget, you have to go even closer to the knuckle with it, and that's just the way it is. We've got players in our group that the better they do, the more you have to reward them for their performances. And over a period of time, that becomes a little bit of an issue in terms of budget. You have to be a little bit more creative each year. Oh, I wonder. Oh, here we go. A little bit of behind the scenes here. So who's he talking about there? Is that Bradshaw? Bradshaw is that Fleming? Fleming scoring the goals. He's got a bit of a pay increase. What's that? That's a weird thing to say. It is a challenge that a lot of teams will have. We're certainly not unique in that aspect. Asked if the injury will mean Rowett contemplating a shape change. Shape? Oh no. No. Do not talk about shape changes with Gary Rowett. Not necessarily, because if you play 4-2-3-1, you need an actual number 9 probably, more than any other formation, or 4-3-3. I think 5-3-2, 5-2-1-2, whichever way you look at it. In some ways, you can play that with different options, different types of players in it. What you're doing is giving yourself a challenge within the game. Because certain games dictate you need certain positions and certain players. We've got good players fit, and we'll have to navigate through this next period of 3 games. It would be nice to utilise a good squad that we think we've got, the squad that we've got, and be able to judge it. I've said already it's quite hard to do that because at the moment our main keeper signing, our captain, and a number of other players have been unavailable for a few weeks, and will be unavailable for a few weeks more. There you go. Interesting little thing there. We have players in our group that the better they do, the more you have to reward them for their performances. With improved contracts over a period of time, that becomes a little bit of an issue. In terms of budget, you have to be a little more creative each year. Who is he talking about there then? What's that about, I wonder? Here we go. Moving on to this, also from London News Online.co.uk. A Doman Maka would be buzzing if handed first Millwall start against Swansea City. Well, it doesn't sound like it's going to happen because Gary Rowett doesn't really think you can play up front, and he wants to play one up front, so that's not really you, is it? Yeah. So, a Doman Maka would relish the chance to make a first start for Millwall, adding any nerves about the milestone would quickly evaporate. The young Irish attacker has been in all 8 of the club's matchday squads in the Championship and been subbed on in 6 of them. Mako assisted Roman Esse for the Academy Products winning goal on the opening day of the season at Middlesbrough and opened his own account in the 3-1 reverse at Norwich. Lions manager Gary Rowett will be forced to make changes to his front line. Tom Bradshaw hamstring definitely set to miss tomorrow's visit for Swansea, while Kevin Nisbet ankle remains a doubt. Or the nerves would be there because it's natural for any footballer, said Imaku, who signed from Shamrock Rovers. Also can't remember the last time we started a professional game. But if the opportunity came to start this weekend, I'll be buzzing. I'm ready. Once you get in the game and get a few touches of the ball, then you kind of forget where you're even nervous in the first place. Starting the game for Millwall and home, it's something everyone wants to do. All I can do is keep doing what I've been doing and keep training like I've been training, performing well when given the opportunity. It's no different this weekend or the games ahead of us in the next couple of weeks. It's nothing new in terms of my objectives. I want to help the team win a game and try and score some goals. And that's my mentality going into every game, whether I start or I don't start. On a personal level, the beginning of the season has gone how I wanted to go. A goal, assist, and some good performances in there as well. Most importantly, the gaffers trusted me to go on and do a job, and whether that's to try and help us get a goal or see a match out. I'm grateful for him believing in me. It didn't go to plan last season with some injuries, so what's happening now? That's what I wanted to happen at the start. There's stuff from Bradders and Nizzy's games that I try and take stuff from, the way Zion Fleming finishes. He's not even shooting, he's almost passing it in the goal. It's something I think I could learn from when I get in those positions to be a bit more relaxed and composed. But Imaku's first Millwall goal was a cool and collected finish, controlling Bradshaw's header before striding into the Norwich box and producing a low finish into the bottom corner. But the fact that he started with 3-0 down at the time ensured his face didn't even threaten a smile, let alone a celebration. Oh, it was a very proud moment for me, something I remember for a very long time, said Imaku. The circumstances meant I wasn't able to enjoy it as much as I wanted to. I got more satisfaction from the Miserable goal because we got the 3 points and I was involved in it. Indeed. It's kind of a bit of a shame that was his first Millwall goal, first sort of professional goal. Or in England, definitely. But he couldn't really celebrate it because that was an absolutely stinking game for Millwall, being 3-0 down. Now, moving on to this. Also, first 4 stories, all from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Millwall boss asked if Zion Fleming stays on penalty duties after not converting against West Bromwich Albion. Well, I certainly hope not, because that was an absolute shocker. Zion Fleming could stay on penalty duties for Millwall despite failing to convert in Saturday's 0-0 draw at West Brom. The Netherlands attacker's 28th minute spot kick was saved by Alex Palmer. Andres Vogelsammer was Millwall's designated taker last season, scoring at Reading, but his contract was terminated by mutual consent at the end of the recent transfer window. Vogie was our main penalty taker when he was playing and he scored. What I do is that players tend to stay on the penalties if they score, said Rowett. Nizzy was on penalties and then he missed against Fortuna, so I made a decision to put Zion on him. Because he had scored one against Blackpool in the season before. There's no hard and fast rule with it. I don't think we necessarily got anyone who's a penalty expert. You can think of the players in the past who've scored 20 in a row. It's something I'll give some thought to in a week. I don't like to take a player off penalties just because they miss one, because that can happen to any player at any time. Millwall have kept the joint most clean sheets in the Championship season, 4, along with Ipswich Town and Leeds. Yeah, it's just a shame we can't score, isn't it? We showed our resilience again, said Rowett. We've conceded 3 goals in 2 of our games. But other than that, we've been pretty miserly. Sometimes when you don't concede goals, people look at it and say, yeah, but you're not scoring goals. That's what I just said. It's easy not to concede. You don't want to get the balance right. You want to get the balance right all the time. We're trying to score and pass the ball. We scored 3 goals against Rotherham and then struggled a little bit in the second half to create too much at West Brom. That's the challenge of the Championship, and that's the challenge of modern football at any level. From a defensive aspect, I've been very pleased. Again, it's never something you want to lose. Exactly, I've said this before. Nearly all football managers would want to win a game 1-0. That's all they want. Because they want to keep the clean sheet, because they have the defenders, they work on defensive stuff, they want to keep a clean sheet. And then you score 1, that's it. That's all you need. That's what a lot of managers would be having that. If you start turning it on, trying to go hard, you expose yourself at the back. So they were like, well, you've got the goal, let's just defend now. But yeah, but here's the, like if you keep a clean sheet, the worst you can do is isn't it? And I think we got this last story before we start previewing tomorrow's match. This is from the southwarknews.co.uk. I think it just shows the quality and the golf. Millwall manager on the struggles of Burnley, Sheffield United, and Luton. The Lions are once again gunning for promotion in the Championship, but the issues faced by the 3 teams who went up last season potentially offers a cautionary tale. Gary Rowett believes the challenges faced by the newly promoted Premier League sides show the gulf between England's top 2 tiers, but it does not put him off the prospect of going up. Burnley and Sheffield United achieved automatic promotion from the Championship last season before they were joined by playoff winners Luton. All 3 sides occupy the relegation spots in the top 5 after failing to win any of their own games. Sheffield United also suffered the heaviest league defeat in their 134-year history last weekend as they fell to a 8-0 loss against Newcastle United. Asked about the promoted trio struggles, Millwall boss Rowett told News, I think it just shows the depth of the challenge. I think it shows you the size of the challenge. First and foremost, every team in this division wants to get out of it and into the Premier League. When you watch the Premier League and the quality in there, you see teams that comfortably got out of our division last season and then they're struggling to get any sort of a win. I think it just shows the quality and the goal for the task you're trying to achieve. But listen, it will be nice to have that problem. I'm sure it won't be any different to any other manager in this division. Now you want to try and get out of this division first. It's interesting to watch and interesting to see how those teams develop and how they cope with that challenge. And see which ones can overcome it and which ones might not. Millwall are targeting their first return to the top flight since 1990, but face a scrap in a very competitive and unpredictable league. The Lions came very close to making the playoffs last season, blew a 3-1 halftime lead against Blackburn Rovers, and lost 4-3 in the final game of the campaign. Yeah. I think our heaviest defeat in our history is 9-1. If we go up, will that be beaten? Possible. Like we could lose 9-0. There have been quite a few 9-0s in the Premier League, I believe, in the last couple of years. But it is what it is. That's where it is. It's the Premier League. The amount of money that is in that league, and that's where you want to be because you're going to get some of that money. Ka-ching, 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 ka-ching. And if Gary Rowett was able to take Millwall up into the Premier League and then do a half, if he were to keep us in the Premier League, he'll literally have clubs probably throwing themselves at him, trying to sign him, like crap teams like Everton and whatnot. Fulham probably, some teams like that. But yeah. Yeah, but it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. You got to deal with it when it comes. And we'll see. We will see. Like it would be fun. It would be good for a year. But that's the thing. You want to get up for a year. If you go straight back down, you go back straight back down. But then you've got the parachute payments, and as much as Steve Kavanagh keeps going on about, oh, isn't it so bad about the parachute payments? If we got up there and then came back down, he would shut the fuck up about parachute payments, because then he'll be the one getting them. So that's what it is. Although probably they would cancel the parachute payments as soon as we got up, because they probably wouldn't want to help us get back in there. So there you go. Now moving on to previewing tomorrow's game, and we'll start with training at the training ground. Pictures. This is from millwallfc.co.uk. It's a video. I thought it was pictures. Okay, so we're not going to be looking at that because it's a video. I thought it was pictures. My apologies. Moving on to this. Junior Halloween Stadium Tour. Join us, not me, I'm not going, on Millwall's Junior Halloween Tour. I have a spectacular time on Millwall Football Club's Junior Halloween Tour this October. Ooh! Taking place at the Den on Thursday, the 26th of October at 1 p.m. The spookiest of times in the middle of the day. Experience the magic within, walk the path many Lions legends have taken, and feel the passion in SC16 on our 1 hour guided tour. The Den is one of the most iconic football stadiums in England, making it the perfect place to learn all about the colourful history and the heritage of Millwall Football Club. Fancy dress is encouraged, with the best dressed winning a mystery prize. There will also be activities for the children to partake in as the tour continues. The guided tour will start in an executive lounge, stopping off at various different locations in the stadium, such as the director's box, the press area, and Paul Jiggins' media suite. They might, because it's Halloween, they might turn the lights off and try and scare you. The tour is rounded off by taking the players' walk from the dressing room through the tunnel and out to the dugouts. The experience cannot end without making sure you grab a picture next to Gary Rowett's empty seat. And it's priced at £10 adults, £5 under 16s. And there you go. And there are other tours on sale at the moment now. There you go. There's that. Now moving on to this, Saturday's match sponsor, Cremello Currency Management. Millwall's match sponsor for the Saturday's Sky Bet Championship visit of Swansea City's Cremello Currency Management. Ahead of the meeting with the Swans, Georgie Stewart spoke to millwallfc.co.uk. Cremello help businesses and individuals when sending money abroad. If that's for a property purchase, for a second home, or a business that needs to buy stock in a foreign currency. Cremello save around 2 to 3% against market competitors. Trading originally as FXpert Global Limited, Cremello have always been the industry's foreign exchange experts. Formed by 3 experienced currency dealers, the team now holds a carefully chosen and selected team of 20 plus professionals, all trained in the skill to help clients succeed in the increasingly volatile world of currency. How long have you followed Millwall? I've followed Millwall since I was 4, and I also played for Millwall at youth level for 8 years. Oh, nice. How can Millwall supporters benefit your company's services? By visiting our website, which is cremellocurrency.co.uk. So Saturday's match sponsor. There you go. Saturday's match ball sponsor, Pro Environmental. And for some reason it hasn't loaded. We'll try and load it again just to give them a fair shake. Will it load? Mill's match ball sponsor for Saturday's Sky Bet Championship visit of Swansea City's Pro Environmental Limited. Please introduce yourself and your company. We are a fully automatic and integrated recycling facility with state-of-the-art technology to recycle all consumer plastic waste. How long have you followed Millwall? Do you have any special links to the club? Our family members have supported the club for 4 generations now, and it's part of the Ledra family heritage. Do you remember your first experience at a Millwall game? When was this? I cannot remember my first game, so as well I was very young, but one highlight is from a match against Manchester City in the 70s, where I was photographed with my brother and nephews as fan of the day by a Sunday newspaper, and I won £100. Well, £100 in the 70s, that was like what, like £50,000 a day, isn't it? Not really. How could supporters benefit from your company's services? We have a strategic recycling business and achieving sustainability. Oh, that sounds. Everyone should play their part in all recycling initiatives. Oh, yeah. We are proud to visit the Den and being part of this wonderful club. We're also proud to have two special colleagues joining us at Saturday's fixture from our company based in Singapore. Oh, nice. Through our contacts, we promote Millwall Football Club throughout Asia. Very good. Nice, nice, nice. Visit Pro Environmental's website here, which is proenvironmentalltd.co.uk. So there you go, Saturday's match ball sponsor. Moving on to the message board for tomorrow's game. The Millwall message board for Saturday's Sky Bet Championship in Swansea City is here. In loving memory of our own little line, Isabel Kuma on her 13th birthday, forever 5. The 30th of the 9th, 2010, the 29th of the 4th, 2016. There you go. Sad, Isabel Kuma, 5 years old, passed away on Saturday. There you go. Archie Moray, enjoy your second ever Millwall game. Love from Mummy, Daddy, Grace, and all your family. There he is there. Wearing a new shirt. Nice. And that's it. Short and sweet. There you go. Moving on to tomorrow's matchday mascots. Here we go. We start off with, on the left, obviously, Amelia Francis. Saturday's Junior Lions mascot is 7-year-old Amelia Francis. Amelia attends Kings Hill Primary in West Malling and lists her main hobby is supporting Millwall because her granddad in the sky does. She has a pony called Venus, and she loves entering pony shows as well as riding, grooming, and mucking out. Amelia is also part of the School of Panto Theatre Group, where she loves being with her friends and performing in theatre shows. Amelia's favourite player is Billy Mitchell. Nice. Next up is Freddie Welsh. 9-year-old Freddie goes to Shoreham Village School and lists his hobbies as watching Millwall and playing on his PlayStation. He got no games. What, PlayStation 5? There's no games. Freddie's favourite player is Tom Bradshaw and he hopes the Lions win 3-1 on Saturday. That would be nice. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Next up is Max Mahoney. He's 8 years old, as you can see from the photo there. Big 8 there. He goes to Barrington School, enjoys playing football and golf. His favourite line is Zion Fleming. He predicts a 2-1 win for Millwall. Next up is Chloe Evans. 9-year-old Chloe Evans attends Abbott's Weld Primary School and she enjoys dancing and swimming. Chloe's favourite player is Tom Bradshaw and she predicts a 1-0 win for Lions over Swansea City. Bit more realistic there, I like it. Next we have Mason Griffiths. 3-year-old Mason Griffiths goes to Greenacres Nursery School and he enjoys playing football as well as going to museums and the zoo. Mason likes Zion Fleming the most and he predicts that Millwall will win 2-1 on Saturday. Next we have on the left Thomas Brown. Thomas is 7 years old and he goes to Hampton Primary School. He enjoys playing and watching football as well as gaming. He's pictured with his favourite line, Tom Bradshaw. And next up is Oliver Knight. 9-year-old Oliver Knight attends Ebbsfleet Green School and enjoys playing football for Ebbsfleet Academy. Oliver predicts a 2-1 win for Millwall and will no doubt hope that his favourite player, Zion Fleming, is on the score sheet. Next up is Frankie Phoebe. Last but no means least is Frankie Phoebe. Frankie is 9 today. Happy birthday, Frankie, and he attends St Chad's School. He enjoys football and lists his favourite player is Jake Cooper. Frankie predicts a 2-0 win for the Lions this weekend. We hope you all have a wonderful day. Here. Now, here we go. The game. Bit of a weird one, this. So this is an historical record of games between Millwall and Swansea City. But also Swansea Town. They are listed here as Swansea Town. This is from 11v11.com. Now, if you go down, so it's arse over end, it's arse over tip. This game here That's the first time we played them at the Den. 2-0 defeat in Division 3 South. That was in 1921. Games above that, because this is listed in alphabetical order, they are later games in the future. So as we scroll down, you can see we do lose quite a few times to them in the 1920s. And then we get to 1931, it's a massive shift. Not only that, we're not really playing in the same division as them many times, but we do not lose to them. Obviously, what you need to realise is that in the early 1930s, there was obviously Great Depression. It started off in America, and Wall Street crash and spread around the world. The demand for coal and other things from Wales absolutely collapsed, causing a depression around the world, and certainly in Wales and Welsh mining towns. And you can see, it looks like, I'm assuming that was reflected in the quality of the football team they were able to produce, with probably players desperate to leave to make more money, to leave Wales and make more money. They could send it back home and stuff like that. So yeah, it looks from that early 1930s, we absolutely wiped the floor. So we go here, 1931. This is three 3-1s in a row, and then worst we do is draw 1-1 in 1938, 1-1 in 1937. Then we get down to this game in 30th of April 1966, a 1-0 win. Then we have to jump up. So you can see, so in a row, without defeat to them, from that game there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we go up 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 games in a row over many, many years until we finally lose them in 2011. And you've probably got Tony Blair to thank for that, or to blame for that. Obviously, devolution. They set up the Welsh Parliament. They just the Labour government pumping money into Wales to try and buy votes. Seemingly worked for a while, and obviously then they start spending that money. Millennium Stadium. They start building things here and there, and obviously building up Swansea as well. It looks like, not indirectly, but it all spreads out, and they kind of recover and stuff like that. So they obviously investment into the club, they make it into the Premier League, and they kind of switch it up a bit, but they've kind of fallen off since then. But you can see in that period there. So we went a massive amount of period. This was the game last season when we finally broke against them, and you can see that, I think round about a couple of seasons ago, that's when their parachute money ran out, and they are kind of they are a proper championship club now. They're not a Premier League yo-yo club anymore. They've got championship money, so they're trying to get back up there, but doesn't look like it's going to be happening anytime soon. But that game there last season, earlier this year, March 23, when we beat them 2-1, that was the first win since first time we beat them at home since 2007. And that was in League One. At this level, you can see 2011 lost, 2018 lost, 2020 drew. These are all at the Den. 2021 lost 3-0. 2022 lost 1-0. So in this league, at this level, they seemingly are a better team than us, and that's kind of twisted now. It's kind of neck and neck. For a club to come consistently to the Den and beat us like that, there's clearly a gulf in class, and I think that era is over. I don't think that the ones last season was a blip. We can see now the shit manager that they have, the Russell Martin, with his boring fucking nonsensical tippy tappy football, where they literally play 5-yard passes out from the goal kick. It's just so tedious, and now he's little fucked off. He's gone to Southampton and he's doing it there now, but with even better players. It's just bizarre, and Swansea are trying to, I don't know, probably recover from that as well. But we'll see. So obviously, I think the worm has turned, which means we shouldn't fear this game. It's not a game where, oh, it's Swansea City, we're probably going to lose. Don't think that's the case anymore. So let's move on. This is from whoscored.com. So here we go. As I've just mentioned, so the last 6 games of Millwall versus Swansea, we've only won 1, we've drawn 1, and we lost 4. But like I said, just said it, they had a red card, and they still won that game. That was 2-1. If Swansea keep a clean sheet, it looks like they win. 3 of the times they've won, they kept a clean sheet. We haven't kept a clean sheet in those last 6 games. When we won, it was a 2-1 win. And not only that, so in these 6 games, we have only scored 4 goals. They have scored 10. But the yellow cards are pretty much similar. Now, here we go. As the table stand, as I said, we are 11th. We have won 3. We've drawn 2. We have lost 3. But we have only scored 7 goals in 8 games. That is less than 1 goal a game. But we have only conceded 8 goals in 8 games, which is exactly 1 goal a game. And we have a negative goal difference of -1. But 11 points. Swansea are in 21st, which is just above the relegation zone. Although it is very early to be talking about that kind of stuff. They've won 1, drawn 3, lost 4. They've scored 10, but conceded 12. If we go down, we can see so the Millwall's last home games, or most recent home games, and Swansea's most recent away games. As you can see, the only game that Swansea failed to score in was an away game at Cardiff, which I believe was that at night. That was Saturday night or something. I can't believe they played in a night game like that. But that's the one game they failed to score in, probably because they were too scared to lose it. They were probably trying to defend, and they're not very good at that, probably. So they didn't attack. Whereas in these other games, they lost 3-2 at West Brom. They lost 2-1 at Swansea. They drew 1-1 at QPR despite having a man sent off. So I think if they go for it, they might end up scoring. Whereas if you look at Millwall, it's Sheffield United, which is no surprise because we haven't had a consistent team. Many injuries. Who's playing? Who's not playing? I haven't got a clue. Haven't got the clue. So you can see, last time out we beat Rotherham 3-0. They were fucking dog shit. They're definitely going to get relegated. The price is probably too low to even bother putting money on it. But before that, we lost 3-0 to Leeds. And then before that, we beat Stoke 1-0. But then before that, we lost 1-0 to Bristol City with a last-minute sneaky goal. And before that, we got absolutely hammered by Reading under-21s in the Football League Cup. So literally spin a coin, which Millwall was going to turn up. Fuck knows. Millwall's strengths, Millwall's weaknesses, and Swansea's strengths and weaknesses. Millwall's style, long shots, long balls, control the game in the opposition's half, take a lot of shots, non-aggressive. Match forecast: Swansea will steal the ball from the opposition often, and Swansea will dominate possession. Okay. Now, match prediction. What do we think? So here we go. Match prediction from whoscored.com for tomorrow's game of Millwall versus Swansea. Let's have a look. A lot of injuries for both teams. Let's scroll past that shite. Millwall attempted just 7 shots last Saturday as they played their part in a goalless draw against West Brom at the Hawthorns. The Lions have endured a frustrating start to the campaign, failing to build any momentum whatsoever, and the fan base is growing impatient with Garrett. From his perspective, this is a must-win game. On the topic of must-win games, Swansea's 3-0 demolition of Sheffield Wednesday was absolutely critical. Michael Duff, former Barnsley and Cheltenham boss, was already facing calls for the sack after failing to win any of his side's first 7 league fixtures. But the Welsh club have now climbed out of relegation. And they predict Millwall 1, Swansea City 1. Interesting. Now, moving on to prediction from SkySports.com. David Prutton. What does he say? What say you, Prutton? What say you? We're probably going to have to scroll down a fair bit to get to where we need to get to. How far down are we? Bloody hell. We are nearly at the bottom. So David Prutton predicts Millwall 2, Swansea 1. So obviously we've kept 2 clean sheets in a row now. Are we going to keep 3? Probably not. Can we score? Who's playing? Is Adamu going to start? Is he going to start down the middle? Is he going to start down the wing? Are we going to play with 2 wingers and no one in the middle? Like a bull? Catenaccia? I don't know. I don't know. But I think I'm going to have to go with Millwall 1, Swansea 1. We go back and see. We haven't drawn at home yet, have we? We haven't drawn at home. So yeah. So I think we're due, probably, aren't we? So we've had, weirdly, 1-0 defeat, 1-0 win. 3-0 defeat, 3-0 win. Bizarre kind of symmetry happening there. I think probably 1-1. Or some kind of draw. If you're going to go for a draw, probably a 1-1. A 0-0 could be an option, but I don't think that's realistic. So I would go with a 1-1 draw. Yeah, which probably doesn't do any team any favours, really. Just pushes it along. But here's what it is, isn't it? 1-1 draw. And that's my prediction. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.